strong enough, but you're the one who made me from the dust. When did I forget that you've always been the king of the world? I try to take life back right out of the hands of the king of the world. How could I make you so small when you're the one who holds it all? When did I forget that you've always been the king of the world? Oh, you set it all in motion, every single moment. You brought it all to me, and you're holding on to me. When did I forget that you've always been the king of the world? I try to take life back right out of the hands of the king of the world. How could I make you so small when you're the one who holds it all? When did I forget that you've always been the king of the world? You will always be the king of the world.
We've had a lot of good music this morning. Next Sunday, we start revival. Or let me say, we have scheduled revival services. I believe we've started revival about 3 or 4 weeks ago. And I believe God started speaking to our people. I've been hearing a lot of things that God has led folks to do and heard the results of some of the things that God has said. That folks said, I did this and then God done this. And I love it when God starts speaking to His people. I love that. That's when you know revival starts. God's always been speaking, and we've been talking about that. But we start scheduled services next week. I think it's awesome. God led me to really be preaching and talking about the great revival that happened in Wales in 1904 and 1905. We've been talking about it a while. I sent Brother Brian a message to let him know that some things about revival and different things that was going on and praying, but he hadn't responded back to me. And I was like, what's going on? And then yesterday he said, I'm sorry, but I just got back. I just flew back in. I've been in Wales preaching a revival. And he said, I just got in. And he said, but I'll get back with you tonight. And man, I got bumps all over. And I was like, I didn't know where he was. And he said, we had 26 saved, 5 surrendered to preach, full-time ministry. And he said, I'm just on fire. The revival happened between 1904 and 1905 started, and within a 2-year period of time, there was over 150,000 souls saved that started a revival, swept through a country that went around the world. And I've been praying, God, do it again. Oh, God, do it again. God, do it again. God's still able, amen? But we're starting revival services next Sunday morning. Be with us. I hope that we got a packed house this morning, but I tell you what, I hope next Sunday morning, I hope the choir can't even come down. We got to fill chairs. That's the beginning of revival. I hope by the end of the week, I hope that we have to tell saved people, stay home. Because there ain't enough room for all the lost folks trying to come to Christ. You say, has that ever happened? It has. D.L. Moody had revivals break out. And God got to moving so mightily that they had to ask the saved folks to stay home because they only had seating for like 1,000 members or so. And they didn't want to stop the lost folks from coming to Christ. So they asked saved folks to stay home and pray because they kept filling up the building with lost people coming to know Christ. We've got a long way in technology now. And Brother Greg, I believe that we could set up a satellite room in every room of this church if we have to, if God starts doing that. Amen? We'll broadcast to the parking lot with a blow-up screen if we got to. And we've got about 10 acres right here we can fill up. And then we'll talk to the Powells and the Little, and we'll go on across the street. Amen. And we'll just keep this thing growing and we'll see what God can do. So don't stop coming. You just come on. You come on. We'll just let God do it. We're going to give Him all the credit and glory for what happens, all right? And we've already told Him that. We got a lot of specials throughout the week. The choir singing. We got Pilgrim's Rest praise team coming one night that's going to do something. And they done a real good job and preached a revival up there at Pilgrim's Rest a few weeks ago. And I said they'll be here either Tuesday or Thursday. I'm not sure which. Choir singing a lot. I'm just expecting God. I'm just looking for God. I'm just anticipating what God's going to do. I mean that. I really want to see God do something. We're living in a day and time, folks, that we need God. Amen?